Get ready for a no BS approach to health and fitness. This is NBS Fitness Radio.
Welcome back to NBS Fitness Radio. I am here with two of our clients, Chantel and Autumn. And our topic for this month is talking about fitness as a family value and how to implement it as a family unit. And so Chantel has been training here. How long have you been training at NBS?
2 years now this month.
Okay, very cool. And Chantel has also brought her daughters here to train with us. So it's been a really kind of cool experience for us to kind of watch you implement that and share that with your daughters. And so today, that's kind of what we're going to talk about. Cool? All right. So Chantel, give us kind of the background and your fitness journey. Like, how'd you get started? What brought you to NBS? All that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, I met Angie about 10 years ago at Wolf River. And I just happened to Facebook her one day, and I said, I think it was her birthday, and I told her that I missed working out. And she said, well, come on over to NBS. So that's how I started. I came, and I had a little slow transition into it. But once I got used to it, I became more, open to the actual journey of things.
Very cool. So you used to work out way back in the day with Angie.
That's right.
Okay, awesome. And then talk to us a little bit about kind of how you got your daughters involved.
Just being here and the environment, seeing that everyone is so positive. With Autumn, her dad, we got her into quite a few martial arts. Mm-hmm. And her dad liked that I was doing the CrossFit. And so he wanted us to try to get Autumn into CrossFit. And Angie said, at the time she was too young to be in the actual class. So she gave me the suggestion of the personal training. So that's what we did. We started Autumn off with personal training, and Leia, I got her involved because it was just pressing on me that it's important to work out and to be fit. And I think, I was thinking that if they got involved with it sooner than I did, then, the likelihood of them sticking with it would be greater than if they didn't start at a young age. Yeah.
You're trying to get those habits set
That's right.
early.
Yes.
How old are you, Autumn?
I'm 8, but I'm going to turn 9 next month.
Awesome. And how old is Leia?
Leia is 21.
Okay, very cool.
And then I have Lainey in too.
Yes, and how old is Lainey?
She's 17.
That's right. Okay, so you got all three rocking and rolling. Mm-hmm. That's right. So Autumn, kind of talk to us a little bit about how you got started. Did you play sports?
No, I didn't really play sports. I did taekwondo. Okay. And then judo at the time, and then earlier this year, I got into jiu-jitsu.
Nice. And what do you like about martial arts?
Well, first of all, the instructors are very nice, and I just really like the training and stuff because it's really fun to spar and stuff like that.
What do you like about sparring?
Well, it actually gives me the chance to actually hit them.
Very cool. So it's kind of like an opportunity to practice the things that you were learning, and also maybe a chance to kind of get a little aggression out.
Yeah, basically.
Very cool. And what do you like about doing the training here at NBS Fitness?
Well, it really, like my mom said, it really gives me a start. So then I could, later in the future, I could probably keep on coming here, mm-hmm. and I could just keep on having the habit of working out.
Yeah, why is that important to you?
Because first, I really don't want to go, well, it's kind of hard for me to explain.
It's okay. Take your time. What are some of the things that you like about training?
I really like my coach because she's really nice. And
what are some of the accomplishments that you've made since you've been at NBS?
Well, I really didn't really do anything at home otherwise than taekwondo and judo. So that really gave me the chance of keeping myself busy.
Gotcha. So it's like it's something to keep you active,
Yeah.
and it's fun and engaging, and helps you be fit.
Yeah.
Very cool.
She likes showing mom her muscles.
Yeah, that's cool. Can you feel yourself making improvements? Like can you tell you've improved since you first started?
Yeah, I could really tell.
Are there specific movements that you can tell? Like what are the things you've seen yourself kind of get better at?
Like when I run, I can see that I go a little bit like faster. And
Remember you told me about the kettlebell swings?
oh yeah, I think I've really gotten better at those since I started them.
Very cool. So you say better, do you feel like you're doing more weight, or they're just easier to do, or you understand it and are more coordinated with it, all the above?
Yeah, like all of them.
Very cool. That's awesome. Chantel, what's kind of the feedback you've gotten from your daughters as they've kind of started engaging this? Like, what has been the family conversations?
With Lainey, she did track. And so she's my more active child just naturally. And so she actually today said, I feel so much better when I work out. Leia, the same thing. I think it's helped her with her confidence. Yeah. Just, being able to do things that maybe she thought that she couldn't do. Or even just being able to do something that maybe she wasn't able to do and now she can do it.
Yeah.
And with Autumn, I enjoy it myself, just watching her. It makes me feel accomplished too as a parent that I'm able to instill that, importance of fitness, because I didn't have that growing up. Yeah. So I learned it later on in life, and I'm just happy that I have the ability and the opportunity to provide it for my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with like one of the nice things about the benefits of training is it's very objective progress. I mean, there's definitely subjective progress as well.
Right.
I feel better.
Right.
I have more confidence. Those things can be somewhat kind of hard to measure, but there's objective progress where you say, I did 2 more push-ups.
Right.
Or I did this faster. I did this, more weight.
Right.
And when you can see that objective progress, in life, it's sometimes hard to find things where you can measure progress objectively like that.
Right.
And so in the gym you can.
Exactly.
And so it does do a good job of like providing people with a sense of accomplishment and purpose, and it builds their confidence in other areas.
It does. And that's the thing with to me with being here is more like I feel like it's a holistic fitness. You come in, you have an environment that's positive, people encouraging you, because you worry about going to gyms and people looking at you and stuff like that, but you don't get that here. Yeah. And also too, you have the options for the nutrition, just all those things. I feel like a family here.
100%.
Yeah.
What are some of your most favorite accomplishments that you've made? Like what sticks out in your mind?
For me, I like deadlifting, and I feel that I've come quite a good ways for me with deadlifting. Even with running, lately I haven't been able to do it as much because of my back. But when I first came, I could barely run 100 meters. Right. And then I got to where I could do a half a mile at home.
Wow.
I mean, I know it's not a lot, but it was a big accomplishment.
It's a lot in comparison.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the thing that people could take away from that is.
Right.
I mean, there's always more you can do. Right. You can always go farther, lift more, go faster. Like that's a kind of infinite spectrum upward, right? But when you measure like, hey, I couldn't even run 100 meters.
Right.
And now I'm running 8 times that.
Right.
That's a pretty huge accomplishment.
Yeah. And also, too, with my endurance, I can definitely tell a difference with my endurance since I've been here. So just like riding the assault bike. Yeah. If you told me to do 30 minutes like last year this time, I would have been like, no, there's no way. So those things make me feel good about myself, too. What's
been the carryover into like the day-to-day life?
Oh, I didn't even realize how bad I had gotten. But now, like, just doing my normal routine, I can, I just household stuff used to tire me out. I don't even think about that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's helped me in many ways. It's helped my confidence, with me. It's helped me, just like I said about my own kids, just feel that, okay, if I stick to this, I can accomplish my ultimate or one of my goals, because I feel like fitness is an ongoing journey. Yes. So it has helped me in those ways.
Very cool. That's awesome. How did you approach this subject with your kids? Like, how did you talk to them about, hey, I want you to start exercising at the gym, and how'd that go?
With Leia, actually with both Leia and Lainey, you had a family day here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bring your kids. So I brought them.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, wow, Mom, this is really cool. And then I think for them to see me doing it, they probably didn't think that I, was doing that type of work.
Right.
And so that was how I got them in. So it wasn't really like a conversation. It was more or less, I felt that if they actually got to experience it, then they would be more open to coming in to working out.
Very cool.
See, just to see the environment, because they were worried about, like I said, I don't want anybody looking at me or, weird people, because we've encountered those things too at other gyms. Yeah. But that opened the door for my kids. With Autumn, she came with me. Okay. So she saw it. Yeah. And she so that's how she was ready for action. She shared with me, she said, my favorite days of the week is on my CrossFit days.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So she loves it. She loves Cheyenne, and Brandon has done wonders. Angie, just everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Autumn, how do you feel like watching your mom work out? How does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel better because, I really get to see that she is really active now, because it looks like she's really having a fun time, because all the people here are really nice.
Yeah. What is, do you feel proud of your mom when you see her like working hard and doing all that?
Yeah.
Does it make it easier for you to then go and work hard when it kind of becomes like, I see my mom doing it, and so now I can do it as well?
Yeah, it kind of gives me like inspiration.
Oh, that's awesome. How's that feel?
Makes me tear up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people, people know, but I mean, even as a parent, like I think sometimes you don't truly know kind of the impact of your actions have on your kids. And the reality is, like, they're watching every single thing that you do.
They do.
And, it can be tough. It can be tough to schedule and tough to budget for it. But when you're taking care of your body and you're exercising, and they get to see you do that, I think that's one thing I love about the gym is when people can like bring their kids. Kids can watch mom and dad like getting after. Like, it's one thing I love about Murph. Because Murph is like, hey, bring your whole family. Like, there's a reason we have Min Pops. We want you to bring your kids, because we want your kids to see you doing hard things in a big community. Right. Because your kids are going to naturally mimic your behavior. And if from birth, from a young age, that's just kind of what they're used to. They're just used to seeing adults get together, pushing each other, giving each other high fives, doing hard things, sweating, lifting weights, pushing themselves. Then that becomes normal. Right. And when that's normal, that's easy to maintain. It's like you're creating these habits. Like you said, Autumn, you're thinking in the future, like, I want to do this for a long time because I see the benefits of it, right? And so the tough part is if kids don't get to see any of that.
That's right.
Never see their parents exercising, and they never see their parents pushing themselves, or don't see them do it in a group of people. Well, then when that child is now 20, 30, 40. Right. And we're like, well, hey, we got to start doing some exercise. that can be a harder sell because they're like, this is weird. Like, this sucks. Or and they're just not used to seeing it at all, you know?
Right.
So I think that's huge that you were able to kind of, you said, I'm going to lead by example.
Exactly.
And then you said, hey guys, follow my lead.
Yes.
Come, let's go do this together.
Right. I mean, I wish that I had done it sooner with my older kids, but I'm happy that we got there.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's a learning experience. And so I feel that, yes, you know, you should exercise and it's important to be fit. And even with working in the health field, it's almost like I see this every day. I work in a nursing home. I see patients my age laid up in a facility, stroked out. I see people in their 50s and 60s, and, you know, I'm like, I don't want to be laid up in a bed at that age.
Right.
I mean, I'm not there yet, but I don't want that to happen to me. And so, you know, I'm grateful for Angie answering my post that day and for coming here. It's helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think kind of like you said, it's like, if you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
So it can be kind of a hard selling point to some people because I'm 36, and so my peers are kind of in their 30s and 40s, and they got young kids, and they're busy, and then, you know, trying to convince someone like, hey, get in a cold tub, or don't wear shoes, or go and sweat a bunch, and like get on this assault bike and crank it out as hard as you can. Mm-hmm. That's such a monumental gap for so many people to bridge, and they're just kind of like, that sounds miserable. Mm-hmm. But they're just not aware of like how bad they feel because they haven't felt how good they could.
That's
feel.
right. To me, I'd rather suffer my own way now than to suffer that way later.
100%.
To me, the investment financially that I'm putting into myself and my kids is way cheaper than paying a $100,000 hospital bill. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd much rather do it to myself this way than the other way.
Yeah, I put a post today that it was the average couple retiring this year can expect $315,000 in medical expenses.
Wow.
Which I did the math, and that's equivalent to 75 years of group training at MBS Fitness for both of them.
Wow.
So like the average age of retirement, 67, the average age of death is 77. You're talking in 10 years accumulating $315,000 of medical costs, which is equal to 75 years of group training.
It's crazy.
I just got my point was like, as if you think you can't afford it, like, you're paying for it either on the front end or the back end, but the cost is there either way. So you can either pay for it on the front end, enjoy the benefits of a healthy, fit body, or on the back end, you're going to be forced to pay it.
You are.
Because the other option is just, like I said, you either stroke out and sit in a facility where people take care of you, or you stroke out and just get tossed to the side and die. So, you know, I think, do you think being in the medical field made it harder to kind of see some of that stuff? Do you feel like you're just around it every day that you kind of like stop thinking about it? Because I think like the first time you probably go into a nursing home, you're like, oh my gosh. But if you've done it for 10 years, you probably don't think anything.
Right. And I've been in that area of nursing for 13 years. Yeah. So I think it kind of does. You get kind of conditioned to it. And then also too, working in healthcare is really not, I mean, you have to really work at being fit because it's not conducive. I mean, the hours are tough. Yeah. I mean, it's so ironic that, you know, you're working in an area where you're supposed to help take care of people, but you can't take care of, I mean, it's hard to take care of yourself. Yeah. And I also feel that society has been conditioned to accepting that as we age, this is the way that it's gonna go, when it does not have to go that way. And to be honest with you, I've actually thought about it more that way since I've been here. And I think, you know, like you said, when you don't realize how bad off you are until you come and work out and you feel better, and you're like, wow, because that's how I felt. I was like, ooh, I was pretty bad off. Yeah. But But yeah, I think you do get kind of conditioned to it.
Yeah, Hoppy and I were talking about this today, and I think there's kind of this sentiment. They're like, well, just, when you get older, your body breaks down.
Right.
And I was kind of like, yes, it does. I mean, there's no escaping that, right?
Right.
Your body's going to break down and it's going to degrade with age. Aging occurs.
That's right.
The real question is really twofold. At what age does that occur? And then over what time period does that occur?
Right.
Because for most people, that's going to occur about 50, and it's going to go on until about 80.
Right.
And so at 50, you're going to have, I got my knees hurt, and I've got this back pain, or I'm hypertensive, and I'm pre-diabetic, and you just kind of like this slow degradation. Then like maybe in your 60s, you have a little heart issue that pops up, and then in your 70s, you have something kind of major pops up, and then you spend basically you can't take care of yourself.
Right.
You don't have the strength to get up off the toilet or to get yourself off the ground, and so from 70 something to 80 something. You spend it in a nursing home where someone has to feed you and wipe you and take care of you. So it's like this 30 years of this kind of slow, gradual decline.
Yeah.
That is the case if like you don't do anything.
Right. That's right.
Now, the flip flop of that, the other potentials, like you're still going to see degradation. It just might happen at 100 and occur over like a 3-month period.
Right.
You're like, you were rocking and rolling, you're fine. All of a sudden something happened and then you went downhill and died.
Right.
It's like between those two, I'd rather get 100 years of like, or even like 80 years. Let's say you die at the same age of 80. I'd rather have 80 years of like being pretty functional and then just drop dead.
Exactly.
Versus having 30 years of like this,
a slow death.
A slow death, which is like what most people are going to have.
Exactly.
So I think that's what most people aren't quite aware of, the two options there.
No, they're not.
It's like you're not spending unless you're spending time in a nursing facility where you're seeing that, like you wouldn't have any awareness of it. And then unfortunately, like once you finally have some awareness of it, it's somewhat too late. Like when you're like, oh, I'm one of these people.
Exactly.
Kind of too late at that point.
And what got me is like, okay, I've been a nurse 16 years. I've spent 13 years in a facility. So when you see your patients change, like they're getting younger and younger and younger. Yeah. And sicker and sicker and sicker. And 16 years is not very long to see. Okay, yeah, grandma, grandpa, they're here, 70, 80 years old, to my brother is here, my sister, my cousin, their parents are coming in to take care of them. I mean, it's just...
So you're seeing people in their like 60s and 50s popping in. And what's the facility?
It's a skilled nursing facility.
Gotcha. So you're seeing people in their 50s and 60s having to go to a skilled nursing facility.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the kind of most common reasons for that?
Stroke.
Yeah.
Diabetes. Yeah.
And poor cardiovascular health. They have some type of cardiovascular issue.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or very poorly managed diabetes.
Yes. A lot. Congestive heart failure. See a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this would be helpful for people maybe. What does life in a skilled nursing facility look like if you're a 50-year-old who had congestive heart failure? What's a day look like?
It's sad. I mean, like you said, if you're not able to get up, you're dependent on staff. Think about healthcare right now. I mean, we don't have healthcare workers. So you're basically, you have to wait to be taken care of.
Wait for your turn.
Wait for your turn. And then you think about a 50-year-old who has their faculties. Yeah. But they just physically can't do anything. Yeah. And they see this all day long. They don't have many people their age. Yeah. You have a lot of demented individuals in there. And so it's emotionally
draining.
It's sad for them. It's just really not the way I want to end up.
I guess, is there ever any mention of like, I wish I had done X, Y, Z, or like, because even if you've had congestive heart failure, I mean, or have mismanaged diabetes, there's progress that could be made. You could start exercising. It would be difficult, but you could make progress.
You have people in there that they want to make the change. They want to do better, but that's rare.
Yeah.
You have people that refuse therapy, refuse to exercise, refuse care. Maybe it has to do with their disease process, or they're angry at what happened. But very rarely, unless they come into the facility specifically for rehab, very rarely do you see anybody leave to go home and live life. They're normal.
Yeah.
You don't get out like that.
Check in, don't check out.
That's right.
Is there any acknowledgement of like self-responsibility?
No, I'm just going to be honest. No.
I mean, I don't see it really.
No, no, there's not. And then, it's almost like it's hard to even talk to people like that because they feel like they get defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
very defensive.
Oh yeah. So it is hard to deal with those types of, and sometimes they're so rude and just hard to work with. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the another aspect that is sometimes not taken into consideration is the mental aspect of taking care of your body.
Right.
Kind of builds this sense of responsibility. Mm-hmm. And you get to see, like, I do X, Y, Z. I take X action and Y result is the output, right?
Right.
I do X, I get Y.
Right.
And so now sometimes there's a tough reality behind that because you're like, crap, I just realized I did X and I got Y.
Right.
Which was not I did something bad and got a bad outcome, right?
Right.
But there's like, you kind of build this sense of, okay, well, I'm somewhat in control of what my body is going to feel like and perform like and kind of do all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And there's of course there's always the, hey, like you could just have something bad happen, but statistically the chances of that happen are much lower if you're stacking the things in your favor.
That's right.
But if you're never engaging in that, and unfortunately a lot of times I feel like the medical field does a poor job of describing things to people in a causal basis.
Right.
In other words, they don't go like, hey, you have diabetes. And the reason you have diabetes is because you have a poor diet and because you're not doing this. Now, the result of your poor diet and your lack of exercise is going to be that this is going to happen to you.
Exactly.
They just say, well, you're pre-diabetic. And so we're going to have to put you, or you have diabetes, and we're going to have to put you on this medication. You have to start taking this medication. Mm-hmm. And so then the person kind of builds this sense of like, well, my body's just this broken thing. And I can't do anything about it, and it's not my fault.
I need my doctor to help me fix it.
Yeah, my doctor said, and, it's like, then what you see is people who are not willing to necessarily take responsibility. Right. And they do get defensive when you're like, if you say like, well, you're in here because of your choices, and they're like,
oh, they don't want to hear that.
You're right.
No.
You see, the power of that is like, you're in here because of your choices. So guess what? You can change.
That's right.
Your situation by making different choices.
Exactly. And that's, I'm a pretty honest person with myself. And so but I think, just not dealing with it for so long kind of put me in the situation I'm in trying to get fit. Mm-hmm. But being here has helped me with my mental fitness too. I mean, working out and just realizing that, hey, this is a process. Yeah. And I'm not going to fix it overnight. Yeah. It has helped me a lot. So, it's hard when you when you're faced with people like that, it's sad. You see people that could possibly turn it around.
Yeah.
But like you said, they don't want to accept that they are the problem.
Yeah.
Like you have on the wall, I think it says, I am my own, what does it say out there in the gym? I am something about my own. I can't remember exactly.
Where?
It's right there at the back of the gym. There's, I am my own worst enemy or something like that. Yeah, something like that. And I was like, well, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. We have to treat ourselves. We have to talk to ourselves positively. I'm working on that. Angie has helped me a lot with that. And, get out of our own way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So that we can do what we need to do to be fit.
Yeah, it's a process. I think one of the benefits of the longer you're in this, the better perspective it gives you.
Right.
In other words, like once you've been doing it for 10 years, you have a 10-year perspective.
Right.
Once you're doing it 20 years, you have a 20 years perspective. That's difficult if you've only been in it for 3 months, right?
Right.
So it's like the longer you're in it, the more patient you can be. So it's like once you've done it for 10 years, you're like, well, if it takes me 6 months to accomplish this goal, or you set a goal and you're like, okay, I'm seeing progress. It's probably going to take me 6 months or a year. Like you've got this 10-year perspective. It makes you go like, okay, well, that's not that long. It's only take me 6 months to hit this goal. Sweet. Well,
right.
But if you've only been doing it for 6 months,
right,
and then you set a goal of like 6, that's going to take you 6 months, sometimes that can kind of be overwhelming.
Yes.
So it like kind of builds this, it if you can stick with it, it builds this level of kind of patience and humility. This is like, yeah, like I said, the road ahead is infinite.
Right.
Like I can always set a higher goal. And once you kind of have an acceptance of like, all right, but I'm going to be traveling down this road forever.
Exactly.
In other words, like the fact that this goal may take me a while doesn't distract me from the goal. Because I know if I'm 36, I'm probably going to live to be 100. Or cool. I've got whatever that comes out to 50 or 64 more years. Mm-hmm. So you're like, okay, I got 64 more years to kind of like walk down this road, right? I got a long time to walk down this road.
Right.
That can help with kind of that patience that occurs with, I'm not where I want to be, but eventually I'll get there.
Exactly. And it helped me too, because I used exercise before as like a short-term fix. And so changing my mentality from like, oh, I need to lose weight to, no, I need to stay active so that I can be here for my kids, my grandkids, or whatever the case may be. I want to be here. Yeah. And I like I said, with Autumn and my other 2 kids, I wanted to be a part of who they are. Yeah. Yeah. That's what awesome. I want.
Autumn, do other girls or boys your age, are they exercising, or what's kind of the communication between you and your friends about fitness and health?
A lot of the people in my class do like cross country or like track. Okay. And I don't like some of the boys and girls in my class do like soccer.
Okay, so they're playing some sports.
I don't really.
Do y'all talk about health and fitness at all?
Not really.
No. It's not a conversation that occurs.
No, not
okay. Really. If it's ideally, well, the thing with kids is like it's just kind of part of who you are. So you don't have to convince kids to be active.
That's right.
Put them in a playground and they're going to run around. So I think it's almost kind of a good thing that they're not sitting there worried about it. It's just like,
right.
Just do it. Well, why are we talking about it? We just do it. What's kind of the communication been from your daughters, like back to you, or like how has the family dynamic changed at all since y'all have all started exercising together?
Well, like with Lainey, she comes and she trains with Brandon. I'm hoping that we started slow with her once a week. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that she will, because trying to get her come into the CrossFit classes to see that everybody is open and friendly and stuff like that. And like I said,
a bit of maybe a hesitancy to get into the group
yes,
stuff.
yes.
Yeah.
You know, she's 17, so she's, you know, a little conscious about
Yep.
stuff. So, but just hearing her today, you know, say, you know, I really felt good about working out
Yeah.
today. And she was talking to her friends.
That's
So,
awesome.
I mean, I that makes me feel good. Seeing Autumn, I can tell that she has improved.
Yeah.
You know, she started in December and with Cheyenne, and, you know, just seeing her movements, like with the hang power cleans and the kettlebell swings, her running, just all of that. She sleeps good,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, so it helps
You burn all
overall.
that energy out
That's
and you sleep
right.
good. Autumn, have you felt improvements in your martial arts?
Yes, because they have like belts in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gotten like higher belts in there. So that's how like we do like testing.
Mm-hmm.
So they tell us if we like passed it or not.
Very cool. And you feel like the training you've been doing has helped you in those areas?
Yes.
Very cool. How so?
Well, it's helped me because, well, in here, I kind of feel like we do like everything in here. So kind of like flexibility
Okay.
and like strength. So I have like other stuff I could do in there. So I could do like, so like I could train in there, then someone could like try to kidnap me or something. I could have like more strength to do it.
I like it. Harder to kill. That's a good goal. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I've noticed it too. Like we just started with the jujitsu, and so I can tell that just like her base is strong, and she does judo, so that helps too. But I could tell that Autumn has improved.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Have you like, how has it changed like your nutrition at all? Like as a mom who's kind of prepping food for the kids, has it made it easier to eat better? I know my kids, sometimes getting them to eat certain foods is like pulling teeth.
We're still that's a work in progress. Lainey eats well. She'll eat really well. Autumn, we're working on it, you know, just getting her used to certain foods and stuff like that. But trying to do better in that area with it. But it is like on my brain.
Yeah.
Whereas before I didn't really.
You're consciously aware of it and trying to make better decisions.
Yes.
And is that something you communicate to your kids? And if so, how do you do it?
Yes. Well, like just recently with talking with Angie, she was like, just talk to your kids and tell them like, this is the plan and this is how we're going to do it. And, you know, you all pick a day that maybe if you want to eat out, a day or two that you're going to do it, plan it versus just winging it.
Right. Yeah. I said, this is the day. Hey, Friday nights or Saturdays is when we go out and have stuff. Other than that, outside that we don't do. That's like what we do for our kids is we have like a little goal board. It's like they get stars. Just like where they're at now. It's like, did you put your clothes on? Did you finish your breakfast? Did you clean up after yourself? That kind of stuff. So they get to earn stars. And at the end of the week, if they earn enough stars, then they get their choice of treat. So it could be ice cream. It could be candy. It could be a toy. It's whatever they want. It's and that's how they earn it.
Right. And we have incorporated more like vegetables and fruit and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah. We try to like give them opportunities to eat the stuff that we're eating. We'll say, hey, you guys just try it. Earn a star.
Yeah.
You know, it may be like, let's say we have, usually they'll eat like steak and rice or chicken and stuff, but sometimes they're just like, won't eat anything other than macaroni and cheese.
Right.
But like we won't give them like juice or ice cream or candy. They don't get that except for special occasions. No, I ask for it and we'll say like, hey, like we don't get juice at birthdays. Or we might say, hey man, if you want some ice cream, like you just got to earn enough stars. And on Sundays, if you earned your stars, you get ice cream.
Yeah.
And I think, as a parent, sometimes you got to build up a pretty tough exterior shell of saying no.
You do.
All the time. Because they're like very persistent.
Oh, yes, they are. Once it's on the brain, that's... that's what they think about.
I think once you've like set that guideline of like,
Right.
hey, this doesn't happen except for this time. What we found is like that shuts down a lot of the asks.
Right.
Because it's not like the answer is not just no. It's no. We only get juice at birthdays, or no, like ice cream's on Sundays, bud. And they're like, well, I want it now. You're like, well, you can't have it now because we only eat it on Sundays. Okay, so if you earn enough stars, you'll get it on Sunday. And then they're not going, why? You know, because that's how, it's because that's the rules that they understand that's already been kind of put in place.
Exactly, and then you keep it consistent,
Yeah.
and so that helps with the kids too. And and even just with being here too. And I feel so bad even saying this, but certain things that I thought were healthy, I realize now, I'm like, oh, those were not healthy things. I mean, so it's like I said, it's a learning process. So
if you talk to my mom, she's like, I feel so bad because I sent you to school with Lunchables like all the time. It's like, you don't know. No. I can turn out okay. I think one of the keys is because like we definitely did not eat very healthy options. Like there's a big difference between the food I feed my kids and the food I ate.
right.
Like I remember when we ate
Oh my gosh.
all the sugary cereals, we had all the Pop-Tarts, we had the Lunchables. I used to eat Gushers and I'd eat a box of Gushers in like 2 days.
Oh wow.
But we were just extremely active.
Right.
We played outside a lot.
And that's where it hurts kids more now because they're not.
Yeah.
They get all those things and they get to sit in front of a TV or a tablet or something.
Yeah, it's like you can get away with it a bit as a kid. It's not healthy for you. But
No.
from a caloric standpoint, it's like you're gonna burn it off. So
Right.
you're not gonna get really any nutrients from it, but you're gonna burn the calories off, right? But if you're not, if you're active, if you're not active enough, and that becomes the issue is that you're consuming more calories than you're burning. Mm-hmm. This is cause you to gain weight, which can set you up in the long run for issues, especially if it's occurring younger in life.
That's right.
Like the younger in life, you can learn good habits.
Right.
From a nutritional standpoint and from an exercise standpoint, the better off you are.
Exactly. And I was telling Angie, I'm in school, and so I'm learning. I did pathophysiology last semester, and just reading about coronary artery disease, and they talk about how it starts at childhood, and I was like, oh my God, I mean that makes so much sense. Why didn't I think about it like that? I mean, it just is scary, and that kind of really set me, with being, focusing more on nutrition and exercise and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to kind of end on that. Maybe you can share your advice to people. Is like, okay, you're a mother of 3.
Yes.
You're working full time.
Yeah.
You're also going to school.
Yes.
But you're finding time to prioritize health and fitness.
Yes.
So maybe share some advice to people. This can be one from like a mindset standpoint. And then also maybe 2 from a logistical standpoint, like how you do all that.
Well, I would say, if you think about it, like you said, you want to build habits if you don't already have those, and you want to start off maybe small. Because I started off coming maybe once or twice a week, and build off of that. And it becomes something that you look forward to. And then when you think about the benefits for you, you think about how that would also impact your family, your kids, and your loved ones. And, I just feel that if you really teach them, like you said, at a young age, then it would become a part of who they are.
Yeah.
So I do it. To be honest with you, I just focus a lot. I am focusing a lot on that right now.
Yeah.
That's my priority. So those are the things that I put my time into, my fitness for my kids and for myself.
What have you had to give up to do that?
Well, I mean, we've given up, like sometimes we don't we may miss a birthday party or something. You know, we just, because it's that important. I've given up a lot of my own personal time.
Yeah.
But I feel that it's worth the investment. I work from home now, so that's helped me quite a bit. But I do work full time, so it has helped me with being able to juggle all of that. But I would definitely say it's worth the investment.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the return is just it's priceless.
100%.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for coming on the MBS Fitness Radio podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Autumn.
You're welcome.
All right, y'all. MBS Fitness Radio out.
Thank you for listening to NBS Fitness Radio. If you enjoyed the podcast, be sure to share it with your friends, follow us on social media, and check out our website at www.nbsfitness.net. Hit the subscribe button and tune in next time for more NBS Fitness Radio.